Well, hello there, City Skylines enthusiasts. My name is Flyvox, and welcome back to Flyvox Talks Cities, the podcast based around our beloved city building simulation, Cities Skylines. With me today is the one and only ElDimitrius. Hi, hello, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me. Um,
100%. Thank you so much for stopping by. Let us know a few things about you, please.
oh, my name is ElDimitrius Plays. Well, ElDimitrius, and on YouTube I'm ElDimitrius Plays.
Okay, so ElDimitrius, we share a mutual love of City Skylines, obviously. Let us
Yeah,
know, how did you find the game? When did you first hear about it, and what did you think?
I think I wasn't really in it right away. I have a history of city building games, but because of some moving, some work issues, all that stuff, I didn't have time to play games, kids stuff. And at some point we got a new PC, and I was thinking again from I want to build cities again. So I was just googling for city building games, and the first one that popped up, City Skylines.
Perfect. Yeah,
So I think I downloaded it right away and started playing
instantly, right?
instantly. Yeah,
That's amazing. That is really
yeah,
amazing. So yeah, it's very interesting. So you basically just wanted to broaden your horizon on your already like library of city building games, and you
yeah.
just Googled, you just like, tried to find like a new one, and you stumbled upon City Skylines. That's amazing. And did you was like the next step you instantly downloaded, or did you check out more information? Like, did you watch other YouTube videos on it, maybe?
Well, the first time playing, it was a bit overwhelming. You see these two roads come into that square, and you have to think, well, whoa, what do I have to do now? So, and then you have to unlock all the roads by placing a piece of road first. So that was very weird. But yeah, like I said, I have a great history with city playing games. I come from a Sim City, the original one, 2000.
Oh,
Even Cities XL, Cities XXL, played those for a while. So kind of builds up from there to City Skyline. So at the end, I'm kind of a player that always wants to figure stuff out for himself. So,
so just
but
like
it took it
learning by
yeah
doing.
learning by doing. Yeah, so it took some time before I got up to YouTube and start seeing have to see what other people do with the game.
Oh yeah, I mean, I admire that, especially with a game like City Skylines, because it is overwhelming. That's like the one word that describes it best, I think, when you
Yeah,
first start out, because it can be truly overwhelming. It's it's really crazy to me, like, or not crazy really, but it's interesting to me that to this day, like 8 years later, it's a game from 2015, and what you said exactly, like place a segment of road to unlock more options, more road options. Like, but there's still players that are new to the game and do not know this. And it's something, as a longtime player, it's like, okay, you start a new city and you know what you do, and you never really like for me for my YouTube videos for like tutorials and stuff. I do also like these quick tips, and that's something I seem like constantly overlook, the fact that there's still people that don't know that, and that's very very interesting. Like after 8 years, that's just like one small thing, but yeah, opening the game up and like having that first starting square, the two roads just like in there, and like, okay,
yeah.
now what? Like, there's so many buttons in the option. Maybe you have that little advisor, that little help. But yeah, like if you first go in there, like overwhelming, that's the exact word that I think a lot of people, and me myself including, would describe when I first opened up the game for sure. Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
experience.
And I still don't understand why you have to place that first piece of road for before you unlock. Why?
It's a bit
Why?
odd. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a bit
it is.
odd. That's true. That's true. Like at least like give these basic options like right from the start. I would
Yeah,
think, right?
yeah,
And then as we know how the game works with the various milestones, you can unlock more options,
yeah.
more roads, and all that stuff. But yeah, that's very very interesting to me as well. Yeah.
Mm.
So, ElDimitrius, was City Skylines the reason that you started a YouTube channel? That was the reason you wanted to become a YouTuber?
Yeah, in the end, it was. Yeah, and I never had the idea of becoming a content creator or a YouTuber. Um, it was the same. Like I said, I tried and figured it out on my own, and that's also the way I like to play my games on my own for my own, if you know what I mean. Um, so yeah, never had the idea to record it and put it up on YouTube. But like I was, I think, 2 years ago, I had a massive burnout. Um,
Oh,
didn't work for half a year, and to be honest, City Skylines was my getting away from reality game. And from there, I um, went to YouTube, um, found Biffa, played along with New Zealand, and after the video, I got a pop up from City Planner Plays, and went to his Discord server and started sharing screenshots, and people were really enthusiastic about that. So from there, it went to more and more, and made a first small video, but my PC wasn't capable of recording and editing and stuff like that. So now at the end of last year, I got a new PC and gave it a go.
very nice. Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. I'm assuming you're doing better in types of the burnout. I hope, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad you're doing better because that's some serious stuff right there. I know what you're talking about. Not personally. I've thankfully not have experienced it yet, but I've like in my near surroundings, there's people, and it's very interesting that you actually also consider City Skylines like this like getaway game, like a little bit of an escape, because that's exactly what it is for me as well. Like, I mean, nowadays I do create a lot of content around the game, and so for me personally, it's very difficult to just sit down and enjoy the game for myself. I love to do that, but it's kind of difficult because I'm always like
Yeah.
in this mindset of, okay, I got to think about another episode. I can, oh, this shot looks good to post on Reddit. This is a good clip for TikTok. This is something that can go on Twitter, on Discord, and all these
Yeah.
things. And it's that's something that I kind of miss for myself, right? I mean, it's not bad. I'm still enjoying playing the game with that, like always in that content creator mindset. Um, but
It's different.
it is so different. It's so different. Like I used to like love playing the game, just turn on some music, put some headphones in, like tune out and just play, just build cities for hours and hours, right?
Yeah,
But now, yeah, it's always that content creation mindset. So yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah. I see what you're trying to say there. I think now what I am the stuff that I record, I play differently than before. 100%.
yeah, because yeah, exactly, because you always, you
Yeah.
always have the viewer's pleasure in mind. That's how I like kind of think about it. So yeah, but it's for me, it's not a bad thing. I mean, I still
No, no,
enjoy
no.
playing it that way because I've mentioned that before. I think on a different previous episode. I think I consider like my live streams to be that kind of escape because it's like with the live streams with the audience and the live reactions in the chat, it's like I can just like play the game. I barely think about content creating. Obviously I use clips from my live streams, I edit those and I take some screenshots here and there, so I do keep an eye out for that stuff, but not as much as when I'm off camera and I boot up the game and I was like, oh, we're gonna like beautify an area, and then I'm always like, oh wait, no, I should do that on camera, and not, And so the live streams are kind of my getaway where I can like really just build. It's like hanging
Yeah.
out with friends and just building a city. So that's what I consider that. But other than that, when I'm doing like YouTube stuff or no, when I'm just playing the game for me for myself, I always think about my my content outlets. My
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
social media stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Live stream is a thing I want to do soon. I think.
Oh yeah, so you
Let's
do.
try it. Let's try that. try that. I've never done a live stream yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I gotta tell you, they're so much fun, right? They're so much fun if you decide to do on YouTube or on Twitch, wherever. It's really really amazing. Like once you get that direct feedback and that that those one-on-one conversations with people in chat, it's really really fun. So, what is it that you enjoy most about City Skylines?
The unlimited possibilities, and everything you do is okay. There is no wrong in this game. As long as you
So
like
true.
it, it's okay. As long as it works for you, it's okay. And it's wrong, destroy it, make it over again. It's for you.
So true. And that's also something that I think is a lot of players, myself included, I'm guilty of that myself, of like being a bit afraid or being like overcautious about this like urban renewal, like deleting areas, taking out roads, making room for bigger buildings, or just like in general. I'm not really 100% happy with this area. I'm just going to take it all down and redo it entirely because now I've been playing for, I don't know, a year. I have learned the game much more. I know the game mechanics much better. And I have more skill. And so I can make it even more beautiful. And that satisfies me, but it's still like very difficult for me as well. I got to be more it's like on the fence about that, about going back, especially like starting areas. Like you start your city, you do your industrial, you do your residential, and then that's done, and then you move on when you unlock more and you progress through the game. And I'm also guilty of like almost never going back to these beginning areas. And that's something that I just like recently also relearned. Like I just used to like put a road layout, zone it, done. And
Yeah.
I mean, that can be good for growth in your city to get that population up to reach those milestones. But in terms of like satisfaction, how it feels, how the area looks, not too good. And for me, there was like a small like turning point when I watched Overcharged Eggs, a new build guide. Overcharged Eggs, an amazing player. It's like does some
Agree.
crazy stuff, right? Amazing, and that kind of sparked and gave me some inspiration. I'm like, right, there's endless possibilities. There's no wrong. I can do whatever. You can take out areas, you can put them back in. It doesn't matter, and that's also something that I'm really really fond of in the game.
Yeah, I recently I have a vanilla build, and I recorded the demolition and the reconstruction of the downtown area.
Yeah,
It
that's
was just after the Plaza and Promenades release, and I just went in, destroyed the entire downtown area, train stations, metro stations, everything. It doesn't matter because I still have the save game. I can always go back.
exactly.
And just went from there, made new roads, selected areas I wanted to work on, detail stuff, next area. And to be honest, I don't think it's even finished. But yeah, I'm having so much fun with my modded build at the moment. So, but definitely going back to that reconstruction because yeah, it's fine. Just do it.
Exactly. And
But it
that's
was hard. It was weird to do it. The entire,
I
it was
understand.
about but a total of I don't know 2.5 squares or so, and it's gone.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like it can be really intimidating like thinking, okay, here's a massive area. You mentioned like a downtown area, like that was probably not a small area, and I'm just going
Nope.
to take it all down and I'm going to redo it. That's overwhelming as well, right?
Yeah,
But I think
it definitely is.
yeah. What I also like love about the game is that it just like caters to variety of players. Like you can be a very like detailed player where you want to have like all the small details on every road, and heavily modded maybe where you use procedural objects to like modify street signs even, and like the smallest details. And but then there's like other players like me. I do like detailing, but not that much micro detailing. I like it a lot to detail on a certain level, but not too much, right? So I rather have that view of the like zoomed out
Yeah,
city, and so then I think, okay, that's for me, but that's my play style, and that's what I think is cool about the game. Like, again, to the there's no wrong or right way to play. It caters to a lot of different players, and I think that is super amazing. Yeah, the freedom of you can do whatever. And since this is like my first city building simulation game, or my first simulation game like I've ever played, so that's also like the openness of the game, if that makes sense. Like
yeah,
you progress, you unlock more, and the options are just like, it seems like they're infinite, especially if you think outside the box and combine various
yeah.
props, various DLCs. You can combine stuff and create entire new things. It's so amazing, and that's what I truly love about the game. Yeah, 100%.
Totally agree with that. Yeah, but I like. Um, I'm kind of both types of player. I think I like when I'm playing modded. I go for heavy detailing. I can plop and put in stuff just to make it look really life realistic. But also, like you said, with vanilla, with that vanilla city I have, I always the first thing I do when I boot up the game, float up the game, is get that view from above, and yeah, that's one massive city.
And you enjoy your work so
Yeah,
far.
I enjoy that, and make screenshots of that and post them around, and yeah, I like that as well. The micro stuff and also the macro stuff, both awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Uh,
How do you go about when you start a new city? Like, are you planning in advance, like every little detail? Where does the train station go? Where does the airport go? Where does the industrial area go? Or do you just like, oh well, I like this map. We'll just boot it up, and then I'm just going to play it by ear.
yeah, that last thing I have when I load up the game, I have in mind what I wanted to do for that day or for that episode or stuff. But altogether, just yeah, go with the flow. Just yeah, look for buildings, plot them down there, or when I play vanilla, just lay down roads, zone stuff, see where it goes.
That's also my approach, actually,
Uh,
which is something that I mean, it works. It works for me, right?
yeah,
I do admire the planners out there. I do admire you all, honestly, because that is something that I really would like to learn for myself as well. Like, I've heard Teddy Radko was on the podcast. He mentioned that he usually takes screenshots. He throws them into his graphic design program, and he just draws lines where he wants stuff to go. And I'm like, "Oh, that's really, that's great. That's so simple and very effective, because then you have like the visual, you have visual aid, and you can go back to your screenshots with your painted lines on it. Like, you don't have to draw out all the roads and everything, but you can circle airport goes here, you can circle big transit hub here, industrial area here, office park here, or whatever. And I think that is really cool. I really admire that. It's something I'm not really good at, honestly. But yeah, the play it by ear, it works for me when I do play with 81 tiles, like when you can really zoom out. Of course, nowadays I do take a look. Okay, where's the highway? Does it? How is the
yeah,
the water? Where's the rivers? Is there a lake? Maybe we can do something with that. But that's more like very macro planning,
yeah.
and not really like, okay, I'm going to plan out my airport areas and my industrial areas and everything. So that's something I might want to look into in the future, and see if I can get better at that, but mostly
Uh,
for myself too, because I think it's really cool, and it does kind of like take the pressure off for me if I'm looking at it from a content creation uh standpoint. I think that it would definitely help in the long run to plan out episodes better, just to see, all right, I've already planned everything, and we can go from episode to episode, rather than where I'm at now. I always, before I do a recording of a new episode, for instance, I have to go in to the save game. All right, scroll around. What am I going to do now? Like where are we going to build something? Which is not a problem. It works for me. I think my videos are fairly decent, and that is something still that would probably ease up that prep work before every episode. Not take it out completely, but ease it up just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Sometimes I keep a sheet next to me with some stuff. I want to do a farm industry next, or about a cargo station. I want to do that, but I had it, but it's gone already. So never mind.
But that's also good. Yeah, just like write down physically on a piece of paper your plans, and
Yeah.
that's actually kind of cool. Then you have your piece of paper, and you can always take a glance
Yeah.
at it. It's pretty
Uh,
cool actually.
Most of the time, it's 5 minutes and then it's gone. And
That's how long it lasts. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I know
I'm
that
so
feeling.
focused, and then do my thing.
Especially with cities, right? You get lost in the game. Like
Yeah.
it, for me, I get so distracted when I play the game. Like my live stream, my chat and my live streams, they can tell you probably, because it's like, okay, we're gonna build this tonight. Oh, great, we're gonna, like an amusement park. We're gonna start building an amusement park. All right, nice. Okay, so I start with a basic layout of the road infrastructure for that amusement park. Then I'm like, oh well, now we have some demand for residential. Let's just quickly go and
Oh,
create a small residential area on the other
oh,
side of
recognizable.
town.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
All
then
over the
like
place. All
all
over
over
the
the
place.
place. Exactly. Then
Yeah,
I'm like, oh wait, now we need to do, oh, here's an issue with the industry, and here's that, and then there we need some healthcare. So where do we put the
yeah,
hospital? Oh, we can
yeah,
beautify the hospital. And it's
yeah,
like 3 hours. I'm like, I gotta stop the stream. I gotta go to bed. And oh,
yeah.
we didn't even do the amusement park that I said.
Oh,
So it's very easy for me as well to like get sidetracked
yeah.
within the game. Like from one small thing leads to massive
Yeah.
distractions.
So recognizable. I do it all the time. If
It's
there one if there would be one thing I would like to improve by myself, it's that keep that focus more on the thing I want to do instead of be all over the map. Especially when you're recording for episodes, and then you've done stuff and they I can't use it in this episode, and there go and there goes another 2 hours of content you can't use.
Yeah, exactly. It's very, for me as well, difficult to focus on the task at hand, right? I
Yeah,
also always get distracted when there's like issues. There's maybe a garbage issue, and you see, oh, the landfill is full, because like for YouTube, I do vanilla gameplay and vanilla tutorials. I try to keep it vanilla, and for that, you start the city regular, and you have to place a landfill, and then it gets full, and then you're in the middle of recording, and you're doing, and you notice these garbage symbols, popping up
yeah,
everywhere, and I just can't let that, like, whenever I see
nope.
someone, like, one example comes to mind is Imperial Jedi, whose videos I love, and live streams as well. And I see his videos, and sometimes he starts to build something, and he has like a building. He places a building that has no power, and he just does nothing about it. And the power sign just keeps, and it's yellow, and then it's red, and it's like, that triggers me so hard. Like I'm like, fix the
Oh,
power. I can't,
yeah,
there's always like, I can't ignore these issues. I just have to
no,
go and fix them. I can't,
yeah,
I can't do it. And then I get sidetracked, of course.
fix it. Yeah,
Exactly. Yes.
yeah,
Fix it.
fix it. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Exactly like me. Awesome.
So, ElDimitrius, where do you get your inspiration for building cities?
Well, real life. For my work, I go to a lot of places and cities and stuff, and I'm on the highway and I drive by an industrial area and I think, oh yeah,
Oh,
that would look cool. But also, to be honest, just movies, series. I see an area and I think, oh, that would be great to build in City Skylines or something like that. And I have all these pictures in my head, stuff that I don't want to do, and then I sit down and let my mouse and my fingers do the rest.
that is awesome. So you purely go off of real life, like images,
Inspiration.
buildings,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
areas for
yeah.
inspiration. That is so cool. It's, yeah, for me, it's tough to translate real life areas to the game. Like, of course, I can do interchanges if I can see them, and then I can, try to recreate them and then build them. But like areas, I tried to, what did I like, road layouts from my hometown. I tried to like look at them, memorize them, and then it never ended up looking as good as it does on maps or when you know you
Yeah.
walk around or you drive around, and that's difficult for me. That's very very
Well,
interesting.
it's not exactly one on one. It's just inspiration. I'm thinking, oh yeah, that street, oh that would look great in a build there, and do it like that, and use buildings from the workshop, and move them around a bit, and even use a little bit of PO, and then yeah, do it
Fair,
like that.
fair
Yeah,
for inspiration. That's fair. I should
for
add that.
inspiration.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly. I just usually I don't know. I just watch YouTube. I guess I watch my favorite CS creators and just get so heavily inspired by their
Yeah.
builds. Like, especially also like vanilla builds. There's amazing vanilla players out
Yeah.
there that do great stuff without any mods, and it's crazy to me sometimes. I'm like, yo, man,
Yeah,
I'm playing modded and mine's looking so much worse than you like with your vanilla stuff. But yeah, it's really cool what you can do in vanilla. But as for inspiration, I usually
yeah, I
go
agree.
go to YouTube and just. But that's not like I don't intentionally go watch a video because I'm like, oh, I need inspiration for something. When I watch some
Well,
videos and I'm like, oh, wow, hey, I never seen that. Hey, maybe I can
yeah,
combine something like that with what I already
yeah,
like
yeah,
know
and
or
then
what
yeah,
I already do.
combine it together with your idea, my city, and then up. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
no, that's a good thing. Yeah, and that worked for me as well.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think so. I think so. Yeah. So when it comes to City Skylines gameplay, do you prefer? Like you already mentioned, you're a modded player, but you also play vanilla. What do you prefer out of the two? And what are your in after that question, like a direct next question? What are your like top five mods of all time? If you can break it down to five mods.
Yeah, that's hard. That's almost impossible, I think, because there's so many great mods out there.
That's true.
But yeah, I really like both ways of playing. Yeah, you've played the game for such a long time, so you know the mechanics, and now it's you're at a point you wanna test the mechanics. How far can I push them and do stuff out of the box? But yeah, at the moment I'm I've played during my burnout. There was some there was an update. I don't know which one it was, and it broke my modded game at the moment, so I couldn't revive it. So I thought, no, I want to go back to vanilla, and I've played that city for almost 2 years now.
Wow,
207k people in there, I think.
that's
Um,
a lot.
yeah, but this year I started a heavy modded series, and I think for now I'm going for the heavy modded what I like most. Just yeah, it's just to get the stuff in my head. I can make it look better when I'm playing modded, like the detailing stuff. And yeah, the mods that really help with that is well, first of all, on top of my list is 81 tiles because I want full creativity where I start, where I want to build stuff on the other side of the map. Um, Especially now, I'm making a rural map about. Oh no, I'm making a map about rural Alaska. So there's all
Oh,
small communities around the place. So and then you have to use the entire map for that other map of other mods. Let's see, move it, of course. One can. I think that should be in the base game.
agreed.
What else? Find it. Yeah, get it with move it. Find it in the modded series. The series I'm having now is about 8,000 assets I'm having. So
You need find it.
yeah, I need to find it
Yes.
because otherwise I can't can't track of it all. Um, Network multi-tool,
Very good. Yeah.
just for the sloping and the parallel and just an amazing mod. And TMPE. I love to mess around with traffic, especially in a big city. And yeah, that helps a lot with improving the traffic.
So much. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that would be my top five.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. I think it's also
Yeah.
nearly impossible to choose top five mods. Yeah, first I want to circle back. I also I play vanilla and modded. vanilla mostly for YouTube and modded on my live streams during my live streams. I think for me personally that I prefer modded simply because the same reason that you just stated about making it look nicer. If I think of like node controller, intersection marking tool, which are just like a TMP for traffic flow, of course, move it. It's like you need that, right? You need
Yeah.
that. Those are some real like not just quality of life mods, but really like mods that really make a difference in your city, I think. However, I also do appreciate vanilla because it gives me the limitations to try and think outside the box, like, combining DLCs, for instance, like plopping stuff from the DLCs and reusing it for a different purpose, for instance, or just you don't have any custom assets, from the workshop. If you want a nice building, the post office, for instance, that looks amazing. I love that building. It looks so good, and you can plop it multiple times. You can also just lower the budget if you don't want to spend too much money on postal service. Which like I think that increases the land value slightly in the area, the post office. But other than that, I don't think it has much purpose, if I'm not mistaken. But
Generating traffic.
generating traffic, so that's a bad thing, right? But I think if you drop the budget all the way, it
Yeah.
gets less cars out on the road,
Yeah.
less postal cars. But the building looks amazing, and it's really cool that it's like a small little hidden thing, or the taxi stands as like bus shelters, for instance. Like you put a bus line, and at the bus stop you place the taxi stand. Amazing. You don't have any shelters from the workshop, no assets. You place the taxi stand as a shelter from the rain, and so you can make up your little story about all these things. And I think that's the magic of vanilla for me,
No, no,
to
I
think outside the
totally
box.
agree.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and, and just like be limited in the way that I play the game. I love modded, and I probably would prefer, if I have to choose, I probably prefer modded. And I also really appreciate vanilla because I mean, I started with vanilla. I was a longtime PlayStation 4 City Skylines player before I made the switch to the Steam version. So, where I had access to mods then. And I think I played about like, I got it in, I think, late 2015, maybe early 2016. So nearly at the, like, really early on from the get go. I got it used from an online store that sells used games, and so I played for about, I don't know, when did I, like, maybe 4 years. I was just like simply console vanilla. Obviously, watched a ton of vanilla tutorial videos, which is why I still appreciate them, and why I also try to always like go in that vanilla kind of tutorial way, because I'm always in that vanilla mindset still. It's very, very interesting. Sometimes on my live streams, it's funny also because I have an issue, and maybe a traffic issue, and I try to rearrange the roads, and I use different, and then my chat is like, just use TMP for that. I'm like, oh right, I have mods. So
Yeah.
because I've been like years and years in playing vanilla and trying to figure out the game, or playing the game in vanilla with the console limitations, I'm still thinking in that vanilla mindset at times, and I'm like, all right, how can I fix this vanilla? And then I was like, oh, I got mods, right? I can simply
No,
use mods to fix any
I,
issues.
I do that. I do that sometimes as well. Work on stuff and then think, oh wait, I have a mod for that.
Exactly. After you spent minutes trying to like, how do I,
Yeah.
like, what do I, oh, right. But yeah, of
Yeah.
course, for the visuals, I do appreciate modded gameplay a lot. Simply, there's even even less limitations. There's no limitations. Basically, you can do anything, and that is something that opens up a whole new world in the game. That's how it was for me, at least. And still, like, to this day, I was like blown away by the power that you have with mods. It was like crazy to me, really, really crazy.
I agree. And in combination with all the assets that are still released on a daily basis, so much, so many, it's just amazing.
Is it so much content, right? It's
Yeah.
really amazing how much stuff that is being released as you said, on a day-to-day basis, it's really, really cool actually to have access to that. I mean, I know not everyone has access to the workshop, of course, but in that regard, that's insane. It's so insanely positive, insane, right? I think that's yeah, that's really, really cool.
I've never played a game that's such a community with so many mods, so many assets, and still active after almost 8 years. It's just
True.
amazing.
Yeah, and the modding community also, since you've just mentioned it, they're working so hard as well. Like whenever additional content releases, they have to go through I don't even know what, because I don't mod myself. I don't create any assets. I don't know what it has to. I just know that a lot of work goes into these mods by the modders, especially when there's like new content released, like new DLCs drop and game breaking DLCs sometimes, and like these people work day and night to update their mods and to make everything work. And it's so amazing that like Paradox and Colossal Order are like working with the modders together to make everything running smoothly. So
Yeah.
that's also shout out to the modding community, 100%.
Shout out.
Yeah,
Big shout out. Very big shout out.
big massive shout out. So speaking about additional content, what do you think about the insane amount of DLCs and CCPs that we got that we keep getting for this amazing game? And do they keep it fresh? Like if you're a vanilla player, you have extra content, right? So is that enough for replayability, basically?
Yeah, I think it is. Um, there are some great DLCs, some better than others, I have to admit.
Fair.
But it's a personal favor, I think. But also with the content creator packs that come out, yeah, you can do so much with your city and improve stuff. At least if you dare to go back and change stuff, like we
Yes.
had discussed before. But yeah, I think the game has the game owes its life, I think, to that all the DLCs coming out
Yeah, I think
in all these years.
yeah, exactly. Like it's so much additional content that we players got over all these years. Like this amount of time and this amount of extra content, I think is really really amazing. Do you have a favorite DLC or content creator pack?
For the DLC, I would say industries and mass transit. I love generating a very big industrial area and then have the ability to manage traffic going in and out of it. So yeah, that would be the two DLCs for me, and actually really like the what is it called? I think the Japanese content creator pack. All these Japanese buildings. I
Yeah,
think they look amazing. It's the hotels and stores and stuff like that. Yeah, great buildings to plop in your city.
that is true. There's like I love the ploppable buildings also from these content creator packs. Amazing, amazing. I think I gotta go with my favorite. First of all, like industries. A lot of people say industries. I'm personally not too fond. I was never. I mean, I do appreciate a good industrial area, and I'm slowly getting. I think I'm getting better at creating like bigger industrial areas using the industry's DLC. But like at the beginning, that was still like for me, it was not. I couldn't comprehend that. Like I didn't know. Like what I've watched tutorial after tutorial, and I didn't understand it. Still, like what do I do? How does it? Slowly, I'm getting the hang of it because I really dove in deeper. It wasn't just for me. I don't know what happened. I couldn't comprehend how that industry's DLC works actually, with that chain of producing and the goods and the delivering and all that stuff. That was just weird to me. So I was never too fond of the industry's DLC. I love mass transit, of course. Green Cities is amazing. Snowfall for the
Me too.
trams,
Yeah, that's the
that's for
only good
sure.
thing.
I mean, the snow maps are kind of cool if you want to blind yourself.
Yeah, it's 4th, we off play on a snow map, but it's fun for a week, and then it's white, all white, just white. It stays white. Give
Yeah,
us seasons. Colossal Order, give us seasons. That would be great.
seasons would
Yeah.
be pretty cool. Yeah, that's true. But I
And, uh,
also
and let that have effect on your traffic and on industry, and farming industry, less production in winter, more production in summer, that kind of stuff. Oh, that would just be amazing. But then, yeah, we have a micromanagement game, I think, and less of a city planning game. So,
yeah, that might be a bit too much then, but
yeah,
it's all good ideas, I think. But recently, what just recently came out, the plazas and promenades. I think this is got to be my top DLC because I just love these pedestrian areas. I love that we got the new roads. I love the wall to wall buildings. Everything about that DLC is amazing in my opinion. And I really really enjoy that. If I'd have to pick a favorite, I think I would go with plazas and promenades just because it's got these pedestrian areas and we got the bollards to place down. I love using those little bollards just to play. And that's vanilla. That's vanilla props. You got so many props. And with the mid-century modern content creator pack as well, that released around the same time or released at the same time, I think there's so many props. So vanilla players, amazing. Like console players, amazing, right? So much good stuff in there, and that's why I think that would be my favorite probably.
great choices. The only thing about the mid-century is they all have those palm trees. When you're having a winter map with a palm tree,
True,
this,
true.
you should be able to, when you go over a road, change the tree on the road. You should
Oh,
have the ability with those houses as well.
yeah. Funny story about that feature, which is an amazing feature. The replace the trees on the road, which came as a free update with the airports DLC, and the airports DLC was like the first time where I got like early access, and it was like I focused so much on the airports DLC itself that I completely overlooked the free update stuff. And I don't know, it has to be like 6 weeks, 8 weeks after release where I'm live streaming and I have a tree selected and I accidentally hover over a road with that tree on a tree lined road and it says upgrade, and wait, what was that? What was that? What does it mean upgrade? And I just click it. And I'm like, I find that out like 2 months after the airports DLC and the free update dropped. I covered the DLC on my channel as well, and like I didn't even notice that, and that was so weird. And like my chat went
Amazing.
nuts in on Twitch. It was a live stream, and I was like so blown away by that. I couldn't believe it. And after that, like all the roads had to be adjusted. I mean, I do it to
Oh,
this day now. I do love the tree pack, the trees from Mr. Mason, which
yeah,
are in
amazing.
the base game now. They're so good, right? They're so good. I usually use one of Mr. Mason's trees for the roads, so to make them look even better
Yeah,
than the old base game vanilla trees, which
yeah, I totally agree.
I
The the,
yeah they're not too,
the
they're
texture
okay.
on those new trees is amazing.
Yes,
The young linden and the live oak, my favorite, both.
same here. I love the
Yeah.
linden and the oak tree. The eastern cottonwood tree is amazing. There's like so many. The rhododendron bushes, like oh my god, the
Yeah,
entire
yeah.
pack is so cool. No, but that was a funny thing and a bit embarrassing too. So
Nah, it's a great story now. So,
exactly. Now I can
yeah,
laugh about it, right?
yeah.
So ElDimitrius, you also mentioned that you always also played other city building games. What do you think, or what is it in your opinion that sets City Skylines apart from all the other city building games?
I think it's the community, and also that Colossal Order works so close with the community from day one. They've always listened. They work with them. I even believe some modders are currently on the payroll by Colossal Order. So I think that made a difference. I think
That's really a big point, like the modding community in general. Like I think the modding support that this game received, and as you said earlier, throughout the years, through all of these years, is really crazy and really amazing. And yeah, that is a big part that's or a big thing that sets it apart. I agree. I excuse me. I agree. As I said, I don't. I've never played any simulation games or city building games. I've never touched SimCity, so I wouldn't really know. But I keep hearing that it's got like the best community, the best modding community, and yeah, the deeper I dove into the game over the last couple of years, I can agree with that. Like, it's really, really amazing. Really,
it is community, best community out there. All the games, the best by far.
100%.
Yeah.
Are there any memorable moments that you have that you would like to share while you were playing City Skylines?
Ooh. Um, well, the first video I did got a comment from City Planner Plays, and that was
On your first video?
yeah, first video, and he was like, "Oh yeah, if you
Nice.
do more of this, I want to see more of this." But yeah, that was the 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 save game that got bad after an update, so I couldn't use that anymore. So that was bye bye Phil. But recently, I got a shout out from him in a live stream, so that and was a small shout out in a live stream, but also a shout out on his community post, and that gave me about 200 extra subscribers, I think. So that was
Amazing.
those were yeah, two fun, very fun moments, to be honest.
That is really cool. I can imagine that's amazing. Like I usually or I come from more of a platforming game type. I grew up with Mario games and I still love Mario games to this day. So I'm always like a bit of a Nintendo fanboy, right? So I also engage or I also interact with like Mario streamers. Like there's this particular game, it's called Super Mario Maker, and you can create your own Mario levels and share them online with the world, which is like pretty fun. And it makes for some great content as well. So through that like funny stuff, I found a lot of funny or amazing content creators, and I know exactly how you feel with not so much like shout outs, but I got to meet up with some community members from the Mario Maker community at TwitchCon EU in Berlin in 2019. And that was also something that was really amazing to me, like meeting the people and talking to them in person. That was a truly memorable moment for me. Not so much on City Skylines, but like
No,
in
no,
terms of I know what how you feel about the shout out. That is so amazing. So in your first video, City Planner Plays notice you. So that's really really
no.
crazy. That's so cool. It's so cool.
I made a screenshot of that. It's somewhere on my phone or on my laptop.
I would have I 100% understand that. Yeah, I still have like clips and stuff from Mario Maker from back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some of that Mario Maker content here and there because it was amazing creative people with what they can do with those levels.
Oh yeah, that's true. There's all it's like again the same with City Skylines. There's like these super creative people that spend hours and hours coming up with new like stuff, and it's really really cool. I think.
Yeah, agree.
For City Skylines, for me personally, I think it was, and I mentioned that before, but I think it was when I got my first real city going without getting bankrupt after a couple of in-game weeks. I
Mm.
remember hitting that 100,000 resident or citizen milestone, and that was for me a truly great achievement back in the day, like on PlayStation. And I got that first city to run, and it had so many issues. I was able to fix them all with help from YouTube, yes, but nonetheless, I was able to fix everything. And getting up to 100,000 citizens was all that for me, right? I mean, to this day, I'll still think it's like a big number. It's when I actually consider my city done in terms of size. Like, of course, I guess a city is never completely done. You can technically detail until, you know, 10 years, but
Yeah.
that is where I would consider a city done, is when I would reach 100,000 residents. What I had done in the past before as well, when live streaming or when doing YouTube series, 100,000, and we move on to the next, basically. But yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
something
especially
really cool.
on console. You just especially PlayStation 4, you're a bit more limited than the PC game. So yeah, then 100,000. I own the game as well on the PS4. Shortest game I ever played. I had it on PC and I could buy it somewhere for €5 or something. I think, oh, so I put it in, tried it with the controller, threw the controller away, never again. Undoable. Undoable with a controller. No way.
Well, it has gotten support for keyboard and mouse on PlayStation, so
Yeah.
that was a game changer, literal game changer. Like I was used to the controller anyway. I was never the PC player actually. When it comes to gaming in general, I was always more the console player. I just never. I'm not a tech guy, right? I don't know anything about computers. My computer is up and running. Thank God. I just like hope there's no error message and I can boot everything up. So I was always the person. I was always more like, okay, turn on the console, put the game in, and we play. No
Yeah.
error message, no uninstall, reinstall, no this and that. I was I don't know. I just never. I mean, the first computer we had in our house, I think I was like 15 years old, and that was like a work computer for my mother, and that was like the first time I we had like a computer in the house. And before that, I've never really, like, in school, of course there were some classes where you had to like basic, but that was just like writing on the keyboard and stuff, not basic like programming and stuff. And so I never was interested in that. And yeah, so I quickly learned that there was Solitaire and Minesweeper that were cool games back then. And but I just hated when there were any issues when I wanted the game. So and that's why I love consoles so much still, is just put the game in and play. That's it. It has its limitations, obviously, but it doesn't have any issues. If it's still up and running, it's still up and running.
Yeah, for me, it's just the other way around. I came from a PC house. So we had a PC in our house, yeah, for as long as I can remember. Still a
Okay.
little kid. The MS-DOS. And yeah, build my own PCs. Have a console, of course, but mostly for the kids now. They play Minecraft and Paw Patrol racing games and stuff like that. I have a few games on there. I can enjoy a good Red Dead Redemption or so. Just wander around on a horse and then do stuff. But yeah, I can never say I feel fully complete a game because I want to play on a PC. I want to click. I want a keyboard. A shooter. I can't do a shooter with a controller. No way. I need a mouse and a keyboard.
Fair. Fair. I understand that.
But
That's fair.
both great ways to play a game. Sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Like shooter games, of course, I do agree. I mean, I played them, I did play like shooter games on console as well. But of course, like I really love Counter-Strike. Play CS:GO with a bunch of IRL friends like every other week, and of course that's through Steam, of course. And yeah, you need your keyboard and your mouse for that 100%.
Yeah. Counter-Strike. It was. I think I have even more hours in Counter-Strike 1.6, the old Half-Life mod, than I
Oh,
have
okay.
in City Skylines. I've played it so much, unbelievable. I
Very
went home.
nice.
I come home for work, and I sat down. It was 4 o'clock, and then it's 5 o'clock. Fast dinner, and then back upstairs till 12. Counter Strike with a clan, play our wars, and then go to bed. And the next day, all the evening, day in day out, Counter Strike.
Hey, if you love it, like why not, right?
uh,
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Uh,
that was so much fun.
that's true. I love Counter Strike as well, like the CS:GO, So
Yeah, I have it, and I play it so casually now and then. Love it.
it's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Getting back to City
yeah,
Skylines, though,
sure.
what do you think are some of the biggest challenges for new players in the game?
Yeah, the biggest challenge could be don't give up too easily, because like I said before, there is no wrong in the game. It's okay. And if it isn't going well, reload your save, destroy the stuff you just built, learn from it. There's no wrong. Great learning curve from this game.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's so true. Like, don't give up too easily. I've also heard like people saying they tried the game, they didn't like it. You know, they gave up too quick. I mean, as we said, it can be super overwhelming once you load up the game and you're like, okay, what do I do now? Like, eh? What? If you're not really like religiously watching like YouTube videos on the game, it can be really, really difficult. Like in the beginning, it's like, oh wait, I gotta learn to play the game. Like, what? It's like it's not 100% intuitive. So yeah, that's also something a big challenge is like don't give up, right? We've all been there.
We all have been there.
Exactly. And I think in general, if we're looking at the gameplay mechanics, I think that traffic is the biggest enemy in the game, and it can get out of hand really, really quickly. Like, even to this day, with all my knowledge, and I've educated myself on the game for myself because I wanted to learn the game, but also for my YouTube channel where I think I posted like one tutorial video every week the past year. So, and I've educated myself on a lot of different topics in the game and just try to figure out everything. And traffic, even to this day, like I still get some bottlenecks, you still get some traffic below. You never really lose that. It doesn't go away, right? There's always some areas that are like not poorly planned by the player, but it just happens
Yeah.
and you have to counter that. And that's like something what I would say is also like one of the biggest challenges for new players, but also for experienced players like myself, because I think that traffic is something that can really ruin your game. It ruins your city, not your game. It can ruin your city if it gets too bad and you don't notice it right away. Like, let's say you're working on a little area in your city and you don't like, if you're like me, if I'm really in the zone and I'm working on a small area within, like outside of the city, for instance, the main city, and I don't pay too much attention, and all of a sudden, like, you have all this traffic buildup and you go check the traffic manager. I'm like, wait, I'm in 60%. What? And
Yeah.
it's just like so bad traffic. And like, oh, and I did okay, more connections and this, and then we tweak this and here and there. Of course, with mods, it's like super easy. Like the other day, I did my first timed traffic light. Super simple, TMP, very simple, solved my problem. Perfect. I
Yeah.
didn't even have to edit the seconds and nothing. It was amazing. Like there's like a control click, and you auto set up the time traffic lights. Boom, voila, everything was solved. And so that's just really amazing. But it can
In
destroy.
vanilla is harder.
That is true. That is true. But I do also know the vanilla. With my 4 years on console, there were quite some traffic jams. It can be really difficult for sure. But like once you get to know like the basics of how to, first of all, how to prevent traffic jams, traffic congestion, but then also, since you can never really fully prevent them, I don't think, how you can combat them, how you can battle them, how you can make them go away by simply, following some guidelines, some rules that you can then apply even in vanilla. And since that's why I'll do my tutorials in vanilla. I don't have a time traffic light tutorial, which is why I did it just recently, the very first time, because I never educated myself on that. So I just play modded on live streams and just like learn the mods during my streams, And so, but yeah, for like tutorial, I really educated myself over the past year. So I would say I know a thing or two.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would also say that traffic is one of the biggest challenges for all players, not just new, but
Yeah.
also experienced players.
Yeah, but it can be fun to improve traffic. So yeah, like Biffa does it great, truly great. He's a traffic master, Lee Hawkins. also great with traffic. And I love to fiddle around with roads and deleting roads, replacing roads, adjusting roads, just to get the traffic flow up again, so as high as possible.
Yeah, exactly. It's so much fun. It was like there was like a time when I also you mentioned Biffa, the traffic fix genius master, however you want to call
Uh,
him, and I also love to watch Sam Burr back in the day. I don't think he does videos anymore. Do the city fix, the traffic fix videos, and it was just interesting because you could also learn so much just by watching these videos, and that's really amazing content. Yeah, there's I also enjoy trying to fix traffic. I even went that far to download a save from that was uploaded to the workshop, of a broken save basically. I think it even was had like Biffa in the title, so it was like submitted to one of Biffa's challenges, and I just took that and it had like 15% traffic flow and everything was red, and I'm like, wow. And it was just very, very fun and interesting to like follow traffic. Okay, why are you stuck here? Where do you all want to go? Okay, here. It was so fun to analyze that. I don't think I had time back then to actually try and fix it, but there is this traffic fix scenario in City Skylines, like in the base game, in the scenarios, and that was fun to do. I did that. That was super, super fun to do. And so, yeah, I also enjoy a good city fix
yeah.
myself. All right, ElDimitrius, here we go. Can you share some of your secrets to make cities look more beautiful?
Um, leave some room to breathe. Don't overbuild your cities. Add some green spots. Add some line of trees. Pay attention to the small details, and sometimes even think from, would this work in a real city as well?
That's pretty good.
Those yeah, the three things I usually use when I build some neighborhood or stuff.
That is pretty good. Yeah, I really like that. I like that advice. That's awesome. What do you think about the community collaborations, like such as Five Builders, One City? And have you ever been a part of one of those? Because they can be seen like sort of a multiplayer mode for City Skylines. What do you think about these kind of collaborations?
Yeah, I think they're fun. I'm following one at the moment now, the City of Friends, the Skyline 6 build. I think it's fun. And
You're
to
in the
answer your
Skyline
question,
6 build?
no. I followed. I
Oh,
follow the
you
series.
followed it. Okay, sorry.
No. And there was once I helped organize and played along on City Planet Places Discord. We had a how did we call it? OLAP town or something, where we had one member that created a map. We had some people could pitch in an idea of the type of area they wanted to build, and after that, people could join teams, start building that team on the map. And I've played along with that. The first team I was in, we were supposed to make rural Arizona, but in the end, I got some college kids, and they all had to study and stuff. So I was a one-man team.
Oh, okay.
Along the way, some other teams lost a player, so I ended up in Team UK. Had some fun with some people there. Built a very nice UK themed city where I did again a rural area. What is it? There's rural areas, and I did a typical UK neighborhood where we have in the center a football stadium and some row houses beside that, some pubs and some shops. Yeah, that was fun. I even remember I made a screenshot of that, and it was on Colossus Order screenshot of the week. And the top
Hey,
view of that area. So
nice.
yeah, that worked out very well, and it was fun to chat around, share ideas, see what skills other people have, smart ideas, things you think, oh yeah, oh that's handy. I'll try that in one of my own builds someday. So yeah, it was fun.
That's nice. And did you have any issues with that? Like, was it when you like do a save game pass around, which is essentially what these like kind of collaborations are? When it comes to modded gameplay and you do a save game pass around, there can be quite some issues. Did you do modded or did you do vanilla? How was that? And were there any issues if you had like modded?
It was heavy modded, to be honest.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, we passed around about 4,000 assets, I guess.
Oh
About
my God.
60, 70 mods. No, it went okay. We had one WizKid aboard, and he set up all the stuff from day one. So it was easy for us to add new assets, add new mods, share our settings from Bob and stuff like that. So, no, that it wasn't too bad. Thanks to the
Awesome.
WizKid. Because
Hey,
otherwise, I don't even know how to. I have 8,000 assets on my current build. And yesterday somebody asked me on YouTube from, hey, you want to make an asset collection? I have no idea. I've tried it once, but Steam was not doing this, not doing this. So I'm never mind.
no. Yeah, that's
uh,
quite the number.
uh, so yeah, but if you have someone who knows how it works and can work with this, the Steam stuff, it was not too hard to do it.
Very nice. That's amazing. Okay, and so is there anything that you struggle with in the game? Like we talked about traffic or maybe like demand policies. Do you have something that you struggle with?
Yeah, we had to. We talked about this before. The thing I struggle most is that I'm all over the place. I'm here. I'm there. I'm there. I want to learn not to do that. That's the thing. Like you said, sometimes you work in an area for so long that you forget about the stuff where you started, and I
Yeah.
was, oh boy, I've got a power line, and half your city died out on you without you even knowing it, because even though you started on that area. So yeah, that's the biggest struggle I have, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%. I know that as well. With the being all over the place, working on various parts, and then just like
Uh,
so I know that struggle 100%. Is there anything in the game that you actually dislike completely? Like there's a lot of people that hate on Chirper. I don't know why. Maybe the ads in the radio stations. Is there anything that you don't like about the game?
well, when I play modded it and I look back to vanilla, it's sometimes the cartoony look of it. It
Okay.
has its charm, but sometimes it's just too much. It's not fun to see 5 or 6 donut cars driving by. It's just too much. But that's a personal thing. I know people out there that really like it, the cartoony stuff about it. But seeing those donut and hot dog cars, it's just and the box spray. Come on,
Those are iconic vehicles.
yes, yeah,
No,
yeah.
but
You
this
could,
is all
yeah,
about your personal preference. So that's
personals, and that's I think the only thing I would say that I don't like.
yeah.
I don't hate it, but sometimes it just I like to sometimes zoom in the city and just look get across in a crossing, and then just watch traffic go by, and when I'm looking and I go all these box spray cars, it's just never mind, doing something else.
They do pop out, right? They stand out. The
Yeah,
donut and the hot dog and the
yeah.
bug spray van. Like these three vehicles, they really pop out at your in your eye. Like it's really, really funny to me
Yeah.
as well.
Give us an option to turn them off.
Yeah. I think there's a mod for that, right? There's
Yeah, yeah,
there's
yeah.
probably a mod for that to get rid of those
Oh, yeah,
vehicles.
there is, but when I play vanilla, that I don't use that mod. So
Of course, then you don't use it. Yeah.
yeah,
So ElDimitrius, this was amazing. We've been recording for over an hour. Really,
yeah.
really good stuff. I got one more question for you. Are there any quick tips that you could give to new players for City Skylines?
Well, I see that that question comes along, and I'm on several Facebook groups, and I see, especially now with the remastered PS5 edition. Oh, I'm new to the game, and how was this? Take your time. Even some players that saw a video about it on YouTube and bought it on Steam, and I just bought the game. What mods would I use? And no, just start with the game. be basic. Start with get to know what traffic does when you make a road like this and with that, and zone this, and take your time, step by step. I would even say play for a month without DLCs on, and then turn them on one by one, see what it does. Learn the game, be patient, and otherwise come to Facebook, ask questions. Be glad to help.
That's perfect. That's amazing actually. Yes, be patient. I don't think I have anything to add to that. That is a perfect note to end off this episode. Where can we find you, ElDimitrius? I will link all your socials in the video description of this YouTube video. Of course, you're on YouTube for sure.
Yes, YouTube, Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, but don't do a lot with that. So I'm all over the place. But
and on YouTube, you're ElDimitrius Plays, right? That's your handle.
Yeah.
But don't worry, I will link that in the description below. Everyone, highly recommend you check out ElDimitrius' channel. Very, very fun stuff right there. So nice talk. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation to be on the show. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. It was so much fun.
I appreciate the invite. Thank you very much. It was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was. It was.
Yeah. I listened to the podcast from the first with Diana, and then Teddy and Joy. There's I'm a groupie, I think.
Thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoy the content, and thank you so much to everyone out there for watching or listening in. I really, really appreciate it. So thanks again. Stay safe out there. Have a great rest of your day, and bye.
Well.